Hi, everybody, and welcome to another special edition on Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith. Joining us today, we have Arista Hartzler, an education coordinator, and naturalist Meghan Ellis of Pickaway Park District. Arista, of course, is the director of the Park District. You know what we're going to be talking about today. Their new digs up in South Bloomfield and programming that's coming up for what's left of the spring and the coming summer. Our interview today brought to you by Kingston National Bank. Back with the Pickaway County Park District right after this.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use, anywhere, anytime, and more secure than ever. Simple, seamless, safe. Download our Kingston National Bank mobility app today.
Back with the Pickaway County Park District. Arista, of course, is in the middle, next to me and Meghan on the outside. Welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having us today.
Glad to be here.
Let's get people caught up. It's not something new. It's still relatively new, but the news, we had that story months ago. You moved your headquarters out to South Bloomfield and what used to be Cooks Creek Golf Course. Talk about the logic behind that and what you hope that will be open to the community right there in literally your backyard.
Of course, yes. So the district moved to the old golf course, our new headquarters, at the beginning of the year. It was actually January 12th. And our goal is to turn the old clubhouse into a nature center. So the entire golf course was purchased by Appalachian Ohio Alliance. They're a land trust local to this area. Their main goal is purchasing up land to conserve it. So flyaway corridors, river corridors are really important to them, and that was why they originally selected Cooks Creek. So they bought the full 325 acres golf course and then sold us the 25 acres that includes the golf clubhouse and the parking lots, basically. And we're working with a partnership with them to open up the old cart paths as walking paths.
Yeah.
So nothing has been opened up to date because they're doing some restoration work in the northern and the southern part of the preserve. And they're expecting that that's going to start kind of towards the end of this summer, beginning of the fall, and probably won't be done until spring or summer of next year. And at that point, when there's no longer heavy equipment running through the preserve, that's when we're expecting to open those cart paths up as walking trails.
Fantastic. Do you have any idea what, are we talking miles if you make the circuit on the bike trail, or not the bike trail, but the walking trail?
There's about 5 miles of cart path there. What will probably end up getting opened up at the end of the day is about 4 miles worth of trail, 3.5, 4 miles. It's still being discussed because of the restoration work that they're doing. Parts of the trail, the cart path in the northern and the southern part are going to be underwater. Yeah. And so it won't be worth trying to open up sections of them. So they'll probably tear out the old path and let it revert completely back to nature.
Right. While it, again, may be about a year before people can get out there, Meghan, you were sharing with us something you saw out the window the other day.
Oh, yeah. A bald eagle flew right up into a tree right outside of our office window. So we all had to get up and just see that for a little bit, because it's not every day a bald eagle just flies up into one of your trees. So
that'll be something. We can't promise that you'll see that every day, but some of nature that you'll be able to enjoy when you go out for those walks maybe in a year from now.
Certainly.
We had a bird watching group come yesterday, just for a little bit of a hike, an environmental group, and we saw the bald eagle twice.
Wow.
So hopefully when the public comes out and the trails are open, they can get to see that.
There is an eagle's nest. It's not on our side of the river. It's on the other side. And if it stays there, sometimes they get blown out. But if it stays there, we'll probably see eagles fairly often. There's also just south of the eagle's nest, there's a heron rookery. And so we have lots of herons there. And you can see the heron rookery from the trail.
Yeah.
So.
There was a recent count of herons. We've reported on that the last few years, every time that count goes, and Pickaway County is always included on that. My wife has this thing for herons. Every time we go to Circleville, we have to go on Canal Road so she can see the herons in the canal there. So,
Well, she'll love Cooks Creek. Yeah. There's lots of herons there.
you may be seeing a lot of us down the road. So, Pickaway County Park District, there's a lot of things that are going on, and now's starting up probably your busy time of the season. Talk about some of the programming.
I'll let Meghan talk about it.
Okay, so we're actually going to be finishing out our spring, so that'll be ending in May. So I have 2 hikes for the public. So we'll do our alien invasion, that's May 25th. It's just to discuss an identification on invasive plant species that you should be on the lookout for that come in and invade an area versus our natives, and then some of our non-natives as well. Then we'll finish out our spring programming with a spring tree ID. So that'll be looking at the headquarters. So if you do want to come and visit the headquarters a little bit early and see what's going on, you can always come to one of our public programs to get a chance to look at that and maybe see some birds on the way. This tree ID hike will mainly focus on trees, but I'm sure we'll see other nature as well. That'll be May 31st. And then in June, we're going to start switching to our summer programming. So we have a fully stocked summer program. In June, we're going to be doing a lot of public outreach. So at June 1st, we're going to be tabling at Kids Fest at Deer Creek Dam at their festival. Then we're going to be partnering with the library and doing a few story times over the summertime. So that'll be happening June 18th. You'll see us at the Pickaway County Fairgrounds the 17th through the 21st. So we'll be doing some outreach there and have some fun tabling items to talk about our park district there. And then also we are going to have some of our camps, which are some of our most exciting things. They are filling up quickly. So if you want to come and join that, you should look into that on our website. So we have, for the 25th through the 27th, we're going to do the Experience Earth Camp. So that is geared towards 3rd and 4th graders. We are partnered with Katarina Sharp from Pickaway Soil and Water District, and also Lauren Grooms with the Solid Waste District. So that's a unified partnership where we have a 3-day camp where we're going to have Touch a Truck. We're going to have Maynan's Birds of Prey. Archery is going to be there, fossils. We're going to be doing edible scat, nature journals, so many other wonderful things we're going to be doing. 3 days full packed of nature fun stuff, geared towards 3rd and 4th graders once again. Then after those 3-day finish out on the 28th of June, we're going to have our Junior Experience Earth Camp. That's geared towards more 1st and 2nd graders. So what we'll have is a bugmobile. So I think that's our first time having a bugmobile.
It is, yes.
That'll be so exciting just to experience that. We'll do tie-dye. We will do nature hikes. We'll do the plant life cycle. And at both of our camps, we will be having s'mores. So just for kids, I think that's a good selling point. I would come to camp for a s'more. So I'm like, oh, s'mores sold. I'm coming. So that just finishes out our June programming. So a lot of outreach happening there. In July, we're going to move more towards some public programming as well. And then also that partnership with the library. And then our first ever Nature Navigators Camp, which will be July 19th. So that will be hosted where that is geared towards older students, 5th and 6th grade. This is an orienteering camp where we actually teach them how to use a compass, how to navigate using a topographic map, and we'll have stations placed at so they're called waypoints. So we'll teach them how to get through the forest, how to navigate actually the land. So, and then we'll have a station there, which will be Intro to Forestry, Leave No Trace. So, and then we'll have a very nice little, it's kind of like a scavenger hunt. Well, they'll have to pick up a treasure that we leave behind. And then at the end, they have to assemble this really amazing thing. Where we all come back together at our final waypoint. It's kind of like a puzzle of what they've been leading up to the whole time after they've been successful in land navigation. So that's our first time doing it. It is sold out currently, but we will have it again next year. So be on the lookout for that. So that's just some fun things.
Obviously, these things are open to Pickaway County.
Yeah.
But can other county people come in and
Oh, of
enjoy
course.
this? Yeah.
Yesterday, our bird hike was actually Hocking County coming to see what's happening out of the headquarters.
Great.
So they just wanted to come check out. It was a science forum that wanted to come see what we were doing. So we just gave them an overall and then took them for a hike afterwards.
How many park locations is Pickaway Park District responsible for? I know sometimes people get confused with the parks that belong to the city of Circleville. So what are you responsible for?
So we have until we purchased the 25 acres at the headquarters, Canal Park was kind of is still our premier park. So Canal Park is on Canal Road. It has the Ohio Erie Canal and a couple unique features to the Ohio Erie Canal, one of them being a state dam and a feeder canal. It also has the only nature playground area in the county. So like I said, that's kind of our main park. It's got about 5 miles worth of trail.
Right.
Then we have Metzger Preserve in Williamsport. This one is it is a preserve. It's a little more quiet. There's fewer walking trails, and you're walking through native prairies, and you can take a path along the river, along Deer Creek. And when the water is down, you can find concretions there, which are kind of a unique geological feature. They're basically large stones that were formed from organic matter that settled in the creek bed and then got covered up with different types of sediment. There's some really interesting reading on it if you want to know more about concretions. But they're very neat to see, but you can only see them when they are not letting water out in the dam at the state park. So you have to be a little strategic to see them. Then we manage Logan Elm Park for Ohio History Connection, and we have 2 trails, the Round Town Trail in Circleville, which goes from the YMCA past the high school to OCU, and then the Pickaway Trail, which starts on Canal Road and will eventually go all the way to New Holland. To date, we only have 1.5 miles of that open and paved, but are working on the next sections of that.
Right. Going back to Canal Park, the playground area has reopened.
It has, yes. We had some vandalism, and we were able to get replacement parts, and the zip lines are open and functional now.
There's a lot of people that drive Canal Road that probably haven't stopped. It's like, I got to stop there one day. You have a shelter where now do you have to reserve the shelter if you want to just have a picnic lunch there, or is that open?
Yes, it's open. You can use it at any time, but if you wanted to have a birthday party or event, you can reserve it for the weekends. So that is an option.
And for those maybe who haven't stopped by, there's signage there that shows you different trails that you can walk, down the canal banks. Might allude to that.
Correct, yes. So if you, at the main parking lot, you can find a map that kind of gives you a layout of the park and gives you some information about the historic Ohio Erie Canal. And then if you walk what we consider the bowl, so down where the playground is and a pollinator patch, if you walk that bowl, there are 4 signs that you can stop at and learn more about the Ohio Erie Canal. And you can learn about some of the native plants that are in our pollinator bed at the far end of the grassy area down there.
Right. Anything else about the Park District, what your mission is, what's coming up before we close out?
Yes, I would like to share next week we have 2 public meetings planned at our headquarters. We're getting ready to submit 2 grant applications. One is for a restroom at Canal Park. Right now, Canal Park has a porta-john, and we want to install a permanent handicap accessible restroom. So there'll be a public meeting next week for that. It'll be on the 14th at 5 p.m. And then we're also submitting a grant application to install a permanent storybook trail at Metzger Preserve. There's a temporary trail there now, and we've got a lot of good feedback from it, but want to put up a nicer, more permanent sign. So we're applying for a grant for that, and that meeting will also be on the 14th, but at 4 p.m. So we would invite everyone to come, give us your feedback. We do have 2 surveys out on our website, and if you aren't able to attend the meeting, we do ask that you give us that feedback online.
As far as social media, websites, Facebook, Twitter, or X?
We have a website, and we are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Okay. Megan, anything you want to close with?
No. Just come and see me at some of my programs. Come to all of them. They're so fun.
Yeah. You can't tell she doesn't enjoy her job. I love people with passion for what they're doing. Again, our Litter Media Live special edition today with the Director Arista Hartzler of the Pickaway Park District and Education Coordinator and Naturalist, Meghan Ellis. Our interview today brought to you by Kingston National Bank. I'm Mike Smith.